God, you got a piece of me. All the words I'm thinking are coming back to me. I didn't care. Now I see it from the other side. You remind me of the time I didn't care. When you do what you want, when you don't care, when you do what you want, when you don't care about me. Alright, how you guys doing today? We're back on my podcast called Backwoods and Wisdom. Today I have my auntie and her husband, Felisha the Diva, and Trent.
Into it and through it.
This is as straight as I get on this sofa.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Alright, this question is for Trent. It's kind of not really a spiritual question, just something I want to know. Do you have any advice on money management?
Oh, God.
or do you struggle?
Keep some of it. Keep some of it.
Keep some of it?
Every dollar you earn, keep some of it. Okay. Even if that means that you got to call your mom or call your aunt for money for food. Keep some of your money.
I like that.
Yeah.
Put some up for a rainy day.
You're never going to have it if you don't keep it. And with the money that you keep, work really hard not to give it away to people.
I give away money all the time, especially if I see, someone homeless on the street. I definitely give away money every time I see.
I didn't say don't give it away. I just said the money that you guard what you have saved, guard it.
Oh, the money.
Be protective of it because you'll never accumulate it if you don't keep some of it. Now, that doesn't mean you're not generous to the man on the street. The man on the street, when you're generous to him, you'll get more of it.
Okay. That's some good advice, and I'm definitely going to take that advice going on forward today. This is for you, Annie, but I also want your input too, Trent. How do you deal with talking to people with low vibrations?
Well, as a Pisces, just as myself, I am very sensitive to people with low vibration because I am, me personally, I can't speak for all Pisces, but just me personally, typically Pisces are whimsical, magical, and creative. And so for me, I am very lighthearted, airy. I see the good. Some people see the glass half empty. I see it half full. I am always typically bright and happy, and you've heard me talk to you. Look at it this way. Well, look at it this way. Keisha, your mom, told me, she said, Felisha, what you have in your quality is that you speak life into people. And I thought, oh, that's so sweet to say. So, to the question, there's only so much that you can do. There's only so much energy that you can give or pour into someone who's low vibrational that for whatever reason can't get out of it, and they stay there. And so I've had to tell myself, I've had to learn to move on, not continue to try to raise the vibration. I deal with them if they're family, for example, but from a distance. I believe we attract who we are. And if you're low vibrational, and I know that, and I know that I've tried so hard, whoever it is, doesn't matter, family, friends, or just people, I don't overinvest. I keep things very surface just to protect my peace, just to protect my spirit. Because I'm the type of person, I want to save the world. I want everybody to be happy.
Yeah.
But not everyone has that, and I accept it, and I had to learn to be okay with that, because it used to be, it would frustrate me, and I why you can't understand why you won't be happy.
Right, or why do you think like that?
Yeah, that was somebody I knew that I'm not married to anymore, but I still love. How about that? I'll leave it there. I know. had wine, y'all. I've had wine, y'all. Ooh, truth serum.
Exactly. Y'all have me a little shot, so I'm ready to go. I kind of relate to that too. Like, I'm the same as you. I'm a superhero. You know, I want to save the world too. And it used to like really drain my energy talking to people with low vibration, because like they don't really understand. And then it's like like my energy just automatically matches people's energy. Like if I feel like your energy's good, then my energy is gonna be good towards you. But as soon as someone's energy is like off, like my energy like automatically deflects it.
So I'm sitting here trying to think about low vibration people that I have experienced in my life, and I guess I'm not quite sure that I encounter low vibrational people, or even if I recognize them as such. I mean, there are people that I don't necessarily that come at you with aggression, or or maybe a kind of a habitual anger, but I've got those people as clients, and the way I deal with them is to just not let that get in me or get on me, and you just kind of, but they're clients, so you don't just turn them away, but you don't really respond to it.
Yeah, you deal with them how you have to.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the way that I deal with them is to just not respond. You don't want somebody in your life that's low vibration, that's just, that's a big part of your life, like a spouse.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, right.
That won't work.
Yeah. But even at that, what if they're your child? You don't turn them away.
No.
You don't put them out. You got to just deal. You just got to live with it. And it's how you allow it to affect you.
Mm.
Yeah, right.
Right? So you're a superhero. You deflect it.
Mm-hmm. You just kind of let it go. Just let them have it moment,
That's where
mindset.
you have, I won't go too far into this, but that's what emotional intelligence is.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional intelligence is not about the other person and what they've done or didn't do, it's how you respond to it.
Yeah.
We get to choose to meet anger with anger, or anger with a deflection and a correction of it for ourselves. It's how we're showing up and how we're responding to it. So that is the key.
Yeah, and I feel like people with higher vibration shouldn't belittle people with lower vibration, because at one point my vibration was super low, Like, people have to go through things and experience things to raise their vibrations. You guys have anything else to say?
I will say this just for the people in the audience. That loud pop, it's 4th of July, y'all, so you heard a firecracker. That's not nothing crazy going on. I just wanted to, I was a little disclaimer, because, see, I have an audience that'll be likely seeing this, too. Like, yeah, we...
Gunshots.
Yeah, that gunshot.
Yeah,
we not in the hood or nothing like that,
Felisha
y'all.
One thing I would like to add is, like, what I think low vibration is like people who down your dreams, people who are always angry, who aren't happy with life, like, they're just maybe lost, So it's not like a bad thing to have a low vibration. It's just noticing you do have a low vibration and wanting to raise it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just like confidence and class and all of those things. These are things that you may not necessarily have, but you can gain if you have the desire to change. So to the point of a low vibrational person, the point is you have to recognize that you are that. And if you decide, see,
it's the 4th of July.
Happy
y'all.
4th of July, y'all. Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday to my brother, too.
Happy birthday
Oh,
to
yeah.
Demetrius.
Free twin, yeah.
Oh,
It's his birthday.
yeah. Free twin.
Free twin.
But yeah, you have to, if you are a low vibrational person and you recognize that, you can certainly take action steps to be different. But the key is to be around people that are opposite of you.
Yeah.
Be around high vibrational people. Because people, well, how do I do it? Be around people that are opposite of you. Emulate that.
This question is for Trent. You can also answer it too if you want. So what do you do for a living, and does it feel like work to you?
I I call myself an intergenerational wealth consultant. I deal with high net worth, wealthy individuals, high income individuals, and yeah, it feels like work to me. It does. It's fun at times, but 31 years into a career, it definitely feels like work.
So do you have another dream?
Yeah, I want to set up shop with this lady and pour love into people.
I like that.
Yeah.
So would you say retiring and finding a new, chasing a new dream is in your future?
It's definitely in my objectives.
Cool. You want to explain what you do for a living too?
Yes, well, I am a cosmetic chemist and scientist. However, these days I've been using my passion, living my passion, and have turned my passion into a business that I absolutely love, and it doesn't feel like work, and that is as a luxury love and relationship strategist, where I help people value themselves at the highest level in life and in love. So I help people gain confidence and clarity over the things that they want to achieve in life and in love. And when I say in love, attract relationships that they desire and deserve, but also live a luxurious life. And luxury doesn't always mean like the fancy cars and homes and travel and all that. There's a luxury associated with peace. It's like living unapologetically. And I talked about earlier my brain surgery and that how that sort of shifted me. And it was during that time when I was recovering from brain surgery. Again, it was in 2020, but we were just months before going into lockdown in the pandemic. That's when I decided that I wanted to use my life differently to affect people positively, and so I became a coach. So yeah, that's where my passion is. I am living my passion, and it has grown. And to be honest with you, I earned 6 figures in 7 days. Talking about manifestation and really manifesting him and what that looked like. And I've turned that into a 7, soon to be 8-figure business in 12 months.
Shit.
And that was just simply
first.
being myself. You heard it first.
And I can definitely vouch. I've seen it grow. So.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear that though. Like that's really lit.
So that is the thing, and that's what I want people to understand, that being you, living unapologetically, doing exactly this, doing what you love and loving what you do, the money will naturally come to you. Yeah. And it's not even about that, the money. It's just that we're in a knowledge-based economy right now, and that knowledge-based economy is that we should be able to capitalize on our knowledge. We've been giving it away for free for years.
Right,
Therapists, counselors, and people like that have charged. But there's so much knowledge we have within us. And so we are in an economy, that's why you see so many courses that people create. Podcasts even, that people are sharing their wisdom and knowledge. You see advertisers that come in and capitalize on that, because when you have a captive audience, that means income. Bottom line is, the unapologetic piece is, it's okay to do what you love what you do, serve people, and be compensated for that as well. And so, having confidence around that, because I will say this, for years and years and years, I actually worked in the domestic violence space. I created an online support community for victims and survivors of domestic violence, serving millions of people globally. I started this when I was 23 years old, and there's a story behind that and why I started it, and I won't get into it. I didn't make any money, but I helped so many people.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's called the Healing Club.
The Healing Club.
Yeah, in fact, I was named Entrepreneur of the Year. I was flown to New York and all of that for having impacted the lives of millions globally. I was a person in 1995 who created one of the first online support communities, really online communities. I'm not new to this, I'm true to this.
Yeah.
All
That's
day.
lit.
Absolutely.
And you love to do that,
I did, and so
and you didn't
that's
make money off of it.
and I didn't make money, but I didn't realize
You are
I
now.
never wanted to. I never felt like I should have.
You
know,
are-
it was one of those things where you're like, well, if I make money, then I'm not really helping people. Then I'm
Right.
greedy. But see, we got to get over that.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's a poor man mindset.
And you are now.
Right, you make
That-
money and you can give back.
that-
The more
yeah.
you make, the more you can give back.
Prime example of generosity at one stage of life, creating value at a different stage of life in a totally unexpected way.
Absolutely.
And I would say I'm doing this for free, and if I never got paid $1 for it, I would still do it just because I just like to pick people's brains, and I have a lot to say all the time. So I would do this for free, no doubt.
Oh, and absolutely. I mean, you know, we're in this, and you're supposed to. The thing about it is, as you grow your audience, the advertisers come.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna make money.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and it just, and you love what you do, and it's interesting how you can turn your passion into a purpose, which then makes a profit. There you go.
PPP.
That's what PPP. That's what people. We see it every day.
PPP loan.
PPP. Exactly. Love it. Great question, nephew.
Well, thank you.
Oh, okay. How did you know what that was? You seen
Yeah,
those before?
Dude, did you see how expertly he rolled up that blunt? Dude, he knows his weed.
No, I know that, but that particular. Do you ever use those often?
I had a few.
Okay. Are you feeling a little more relaxed? Do you need more Patron, or are you good?
I'll take a shot. A little shot.
It's so funny. I have not known you to drink.
I don't really.
You don't. You really. You have them margaritas though that Keisha makes, Lasia makes, and every once in a while I'll make.
Yeah, I'll drink sometimes, but I'm really just a smoker. Okay, this last question is for Trent. I know you have kids, but if you could say anything to them right now, what would you say?
I love you. I mean, I don't know what else you say in the moment. There's too many things to say to occupy a single moment. There's a million things to say, but that would be the singular one.
I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? That's
Oh, dude, I would. There's a million
You'd
things
write a
to say
book
to
about
him. Yeah, yeah. I've given it plenty of thought. If when that day comes, what will I say? I don't know. I've run my brain tired trying to figure that one out. But in this moment, I would tell him I loved him.
do you think they would want to hear from you?
No,
No.
No.
Why do you think that though?
because they've told me.
I ask you this because I don't talk to my dad either. So I kind of understand, like, you go through things with your kids. And me and my dad went through a lot. But, like, at this point in life, like, if he wanted to, like, talk to me, I'd be open to it, Like, I've grown and, sometimes I wish he would hit me up. Like, I wish, like, I would hear from him, So, like, he probably thinks I don't want to hear from him.
Mine have heard from me recently, and they still don't want to hear from me.
So maybe they need to grow more. Because I don't think it's you.
Yeah.
In my instance, it's my dad. I've grown. I'm ready to have a conversation with him. I mean, he's obviously not. For your instance, they're not. Whatever y'all went through, like, you're obviously grown past that, and you're ready to rekindle things.
Yeah.
I see it.
I love that. That's sweet dialogue.
If this helps any at all, it's not you. They need to grow and understand that you're their only father.
He still carries a lot of emotion around that. As you can see, it's evident. And you know what? I think it's great to be transparent because you never know who's going to see this and who you will help and will gain strength and courage and just understand they're not alone.
Yeah.
And again, it's a
Exactly.
different perspective. You're a kid who wants the father to reach out, and you're a father who would love it if the kids would reach out. And you've consistently reached out, and they've rejected. And it's one of those things.
It's like you just have to say, okay, I love you from a distance. You know, like I'm gonna keep living my life and growing as a human being.
Well,
Yeah.
lots of people like to talk about unconditional love. That's been the lesson for me, figuring out how to love somebody that has nothing to do with you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard. I understand how you feel. Thank you for answering too. I appreciate that.
Well, that wasn't an easy question, but anytime you let out tears, you're letting out some pain that is probably relatively deep in your soul.
And somebody could relate.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody-
Oh, for sure.
A lot of people actually. There's two perspectives, so the whole world could relate, honestly. How did you deal with losing your mother, and how did you find the will to keep going?
You're not getting tears out of me. No. You could, but it's interesting because losing my mother was the biggest shock of my life because I had just talked to her. It was unexpected, but a lot of things in life happen unexpectedly, and it was extremely tough. But dealing with it, I found peace. It's almost like I found immediate peace because I know a few reasons she didn't suffer. But one of the things I know is I treated my mother so well. I treated her with such respect, and she loved me, and she looked to me as a person that she trusted and placed value in terms of my opinion. I supported her, I nurtured her, I was there for her, and I really processed the fact that I treated her very, very well, and I helped her have the best life she could have. And so I have peace around that, which makes me want to live all the more in terms of like just find joy. And so it was a shock to lose her, but I am grateful for the many years that I've had her. Even though she was only 67, there are people who don't have their parents that long. There are people who have their parents maybe much longer, but maybe they're not healthy. But I am grateful for the time that I had her in my life. And that's just how I see it. That's exactly how I see it.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's definitely a positive way to deal with that. Honestly, I don't know how I would deal if I lost my mom,
Yeah.
So you're really strong. And I appreciate you for having the will to keep going, because we need you. The family needs you.
Well, one of the other things is the blessing for me is that I'm a mom. I think that also is what keeps me going. I'm a mom. I have a daughter. I know that on Mother's Day, I'm sad sometimes, but I'm also grateful because I have a daughter who can say Happy Mother's Day to me. But I also, I've always seen my sister's kids, Keisha's kids, you, Christopher, and Tepra, as an extension of my kids. I'm an Amy, but I feel like I'm like a surrogate mom too. So that is also what keeps me going, is being here and bringing joy to your lives. I exist to love my family. That is so special to me.
I love
That's like, I talk about it all the time. I wouldn't even know what else to do. And Mom was like that.
Yeah,
Mom
she
was like that. That's why that door was open every Sunday. Y'all coming
Yeah,
by?
every Sunday.
You come by. Whether she said come by or not, just go by, and she was always there.
She was.
So I show up. My door's not open on every Sunday because I'll be gone sometime. But I do try to make it a point to do something once a month if I can. But I also love creating activities for us, like we did over the weekend,
Yeah.
bringing us together. So I'm very intentional about that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that we've been doing that. Lately.
Yeah, I think we all need it, and it was, it's been great.
What is some advice you would give your 18-year-old self?
I'll start real quick. Believe in your dreams. Believe in your dreams. That's it. Believe in your dreams.
I like that one.
I think mine would be similar. I thought follow your heart. Follow your heart.
I think mine would be separate myself from the crowd
I like
and
that.
focus on myself.
I like that.
Who do you sometimes compare yourself to, if you compare yourself to anybody at all?
I would say I don't compare myself to anybody singularly, but I compare myself to everybody. It feels like in a bigger sense. It's like, I don't know. That's an interesting question.
I know exactly what you mean though, because I compare myself to everyone too, and I just think I stand out.
Yeah. You meet a guy in the street and you instantly start sizing each other up. It's actually kind of annoying. You know? It's annoying. I think we're here to lose that. Because we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to anybody. If you're really walking in the light, man, you ought to not even be thinking about other people and what they think of you. You
Yeah.
know? Because if you're walking in the light, you're doing it right.
Right. I mean, like, kind of when I walk in public, I don't really pay attention to anybody, but, like, as far as, like, people's mindset, or, like, if I'm in the room with people, then, yeah, I kind of compare myself, like, how other people think, like, if they think like me, or if they think, like, not like me, or how they dress, like, not really compare. I would say observe, I guess.
Yeah. I would say over time, for me, I've developed this level of confidence where I don't compare myself to anyone. I've never really compared myself to anyone per se, but I have measured myself against others when it came to value. So being a teen mom, having a child at 16 years old, I've always felt like maybe I would not achieve much because I had a child so young. And so when I went into corporate America at 25 years old, I dressed very business, and I dressed more adult. I compared myself to other people in terms of trying to be like them. I always felt like, well, maybe they won't see me as smart. I need to dress a certain way. I need to act a certain way. But I feel like when we do that, for me, that was lack of confidence in actually knowing exactly who I was, because I wanted to fit in a world that I felt was very professional, being in a professional environment. But it wasn't until years later that for me, being confident it wasn't until I actually left that corporate America environment that I start being the diva that I am, which for me is comfortable with who I am, secure in who I am, not worried about what other people think or say. And I'm the person that walks into the room that other people do double takes at, because it's not arrogance, it's confidence. And so I think it's a matter of being comfortable with who you are. And I always tell Alasia, or anybody who'll listen to me, clients, and I'll tell you, one of the things I'll never do is fan out. So for example, I would use Oprah as an example, who I've actually met. I always say, when you meet a celebrity, they're meeting you too. Don't get so caught up on, I'm going to meet
Starstruck.
Who was that rapper? Wiz Khalifa. I saw Wiz Khalifa at the Four Seasons a few years ago. Yeah, he was at the Four Seasons. He was, he might have been here for a 420 event. Anyway, so let's just, and he was just with people. If you saw Wiz Khalifa at a hotel bar and he's just there chilling with his entourage, you could fan out. You could do one of two. You could fan out, oh, I love you, I admire you, whatever. Or you could be like, hey, I'm Del Reese Taylor Gang, and he's meeting you too. It's about you leaving the impression on the people that you meet, no matter what their status is, and being confident in exactly who you are. So I always say, I'm not just meeting them. It doesn't matter who it is, they're meeting me too. No one is more important than you are. And you are no more important than anyone else. And that is where I've made the connection, and that confidence has kind of shined through, where I don't compare myself to anyone. And I live that, I walk that, I breathe that, I am that. And I stand on it. I stand on it.
I really like that, and I'm glad I asked that question.
I'm glad you asked that question.
Because they're meeting you too.
They are meeting you too.
And a lot of people don't understand that.
They're not going to remember the fan. They're not going to remember when you say you want to stand out. You want to stand. You don't want to ever blend in. You want to stand out, right? So, if you are just, for example, a fan, and you're just a screaming fan, for example, no celebrity's going to remember you. You're going to blend in with everyone else. But if you are a regular person and you are meeting them, and you are kind, generous, nice, or just being you, if they ever see you again, like, yeah, I remember you, I met you at such and such, and you had on this and that, and you were so this and that, I really like your vibe, that's the thing. You're leaving an impression on the people you meet. Doesn't matter if they're a celebrity or not. It's you. It's just really how we carry ourselves. So you stand out so you don't blend in.
Right.
And then you don't ever have to compare yourself to anyone, because there's only going to be one you. And that's what I learned that only a few years down the road, out of my 20s, after I kind of released myself from corporate America. I quit. I said, I got to be an entrepreneur. I'm doing my own thing. I cannot be contained or controlled. And I never looked back. I'm telling you, I never looked back.
I really like that.
I'm serious. I'm just like, I'm not regular.
No, I feel the same way.
I'm sorry. It's the wine, y'all. It's the wine. I don't need the weed. But I think I got a contact.
Yeah,
that's probably what
did.
it is. I got the wine and the what do we call on the podcast? What do we settle on? What do we settle on the podcast name?
Oh, it's Backwoods and Wisdom.
Backwoods and Wisdom.
Yeah.
Well, we got all that today.
Makes sense that you're in our backyard, man.
That's right.
Okay, cool. I actually like that. I feel like I got a lot of my personality from you.
Me?
Yeah. It's because, you establish yourself as the diva. That's you. And then I feel like when I walk in the room, I'm Cardi Hendrix.
That's it.
I feel like...
It's a whole vibe.
Yeah, I stand out. I really feel like that. And then you really know when people tell you.
Yeah. That's exactly right. They validate that.
What harsh truth do you choose to ignore?
Oh, I will.
Where the hell did you come up with these questions, man?
Yeah. It's a secret.
Well, I will say, I'm just going to make it quick and brief. The harsh truth that I choose to ignore, but I know good and well I'm going to be faced with, is the loss of my cousins. The loss of my cousins, who were not just cousins, they were sister and brother. They were the only children of my mom's twin sister. And I have been in denial. I have not faced it. The harsh truth is that we will be having the conversation. It's going to be pretty tough for everyone this weekend. That's the harsh truth that I choose to ignore, but I know it is a harsh truth. But I have peace around the fact that they're okay. I miss them. But it is something that I've not quite accepted. There you have it.
I don't think I have either.
Right, I don't believe anyone has. Like, let's just leave it at that. That's what I got. That's where I don't. That's all I got.
What about you?
I don't think I can match that answer.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know. I don't think I'm going to try to answer that question.
Okay. Maurice, what about you then?
Me, I kind of, the harsh truth I kind of ignore is like a lot of death. I kind of ignore it to keep going.
Do you ignore it or do you suppress it? That's two different things. Keep it buried deep.
I don't really know. I try not to really think about it. Kind of just ignore the truth of death, even though like it's it's there. It's we all. That's one thing everyone has in common.
Mm-hmm.
On a more positive side, the harsh truth I choose to ignore is that I can't be successful, that I can't be wealthy, that I won't succeed as an artist. That's the hard truth I choose to ignore because even though a lot of people tell me that, and I've heard a lot, like it's not likely for you to make it as an artist. Like I choose to ignore that because I have to make it because there's a lot of people on earth that have to hear what I have to say.
Absolutely. Well,
And that could relate.
yeah, and the thing is that is not a truth at all. This is what I always say, just because someone tells you something doesn't make it true. Right? If they say, for example, especially if it's an opinion, I was told at 16 you're not going to amount to anything because you had a baby at 16. Was that a truth? Absolutely not. Was it harsh? Yeah, it hurt. Was it an opinion? Yes. And guess what I did? Ignored it. Just because a person says something to you out of their mouth and as a matter of fact for them doesn't make it true for you.
I
And
like
definitely keep that in mind.
So it's like a harsh opinion.
Harsh opinion, yes, because it's not a truth, especially when it's a person's subjective, personal opinion. Because I didn't make it, you definitely ain't gonna make it. Like that, that's them. That's a low vibrational person. Don't ever let anybody speak negative over you. Take whatever, and always let them, whatever their opinion is. I always say, just because you say it doesn't make it true. Particularly when it's a negative. I call it a false negative.
I agree, and I was gonna say that's definitely a low vibrational person because anybody who tells me their dreams, I support them, and I actually believe them because you can do it, and there's
Absolutely.
different levels of success. Whatever you want to accomplish yourself, you can do that. You don't let people tell you can't. Anything you would like to add, or you just
Well,
pass?
what's a? I'm gonna take your question and structure it a little differently.
Okay.
What's a hard thing for you to believe about yourself?
A hard thing to believe about myself.
Yeah, I'll answer my own question, but and it relates to your question of a harsh truth. There are things that maybe I believe about myself that aren't necessarily true,
Oh.
and they cause me to struggle in really, being the best person that I can be. I don't know. That's my take on the question.
There she blows!
God. Yeah. What were you saying?
I guess just to sum it up, a harsh mistruth about you that holds you back from being the best person that you can be.
I like that. I like that question. I never thought about that until now. I think for me is that I'll never be loved. Not by my family, but genuinely loved by a female.
You just haven't met the right one yet.
You know what? You change yourself, you'll change who you attract.
Yeah, definitely.
You understand what I'm
See,
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I have changed myself, but it just won't happen overnight. So
No, it won't
can't
happen
share.
overnight, but you also need to be in environments where you will meet someone. Doesn't mean you need to go out of your way to do so, but like attracts like, and you will attract the right person for you. You're still very young. In the meantime, just enjoy your life. But it turns out I attracted the type of person I probably would have had to go through several people to meet and go out and have fun and just meet people and travel and whatever. But what I met in him was somebody I love, connected with, and we have traveled the world, and we still continue to. And well, I was just going to add to that: travel the world, continue to, and that is another thing I am very committed to, is making sure my children, my nieces, my nephews travel the world too.
but I can't wait to.
I'm on a mission
We've
for
been
all
talking
of
about
that.
it too.
Just
I've
we
been
have
telling you.
just get out, just be out.
Yeah,
and just
we
see
would
the
all
world.
love that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what life
important.
is about: experiencing, and memories. That's what's
Absolutely.
important.
Most definitely.
What life lesson did you learn the hard way?
I'll go. What life lesson did I learn the hard way? Well, you know what? I had a child by a man who is currently doing life in prison. The life lesson that I learned is that sometimes you love someone so deeply and you try to hang on to that, but they are not the right person for you. And in the end, you get hurt by trying to hang on too long. And so the lesson I learned is the hard way is abuse is not love, and love is not abuse.
I like that. You're saying a lot of quotes. Oh my gosh.
She's full
That
of
is
them.
well, see, and that is why I started my domestic violence community healing club, is because when he went to prison, I was only 18, and he was very abusive, and I did not have anyone to talk to. I may have had a counselor here or there, but they could not identify counselors who typically listen. They've not been in your shoes. So I created this online support community, the Healing Club, where people heal and rebuild. It's an online support community for people to come together and share their story and gain support for each other. But really, I built that community for myself,
I
so
love
that I could share my story, know that I wasn't alone, and also find strength through others.
I really love that, and I'm gonna add to that. I make my music for me. I said this in an interview that I make my music it's a way for me to vent, and I make it for me. So the fact that what you did reach millions of people, I feel like mine can too, even if it doesn't make $1, you know?
You.
So my response links to your question about my kids. And you said, read the question again.
What life lesson did you learn the hard way?
Yeah. Unconditional love. To tie back to how I finished that answer on the question about my kids, that learning to love somebody without any expectation, sending a message with an expectation to be ghosted. That's a hard lesson to learn, man.
That hurts.
Yeah.
I've been there before. I could relate.
Very few people, I think, really get to learn how to really truly love somebody. You know? It's a hard, because love is full of expectations. The human version of it is. The higher plane, the higher dimension, the higher vibration that you're talking about, that's learning to love somebody without a hint of an expectation. And yeah, it's been a hard lesson for me.
I'm really glad you're that person, and I'm glad you said that, because I too go through the same thing as you. You might not know, but there's been times where you've been genuine to them and they would ghost me or, you know, be an asshole to me. And me, I'm just trying to move with love, you know, I'm trying to grow. That's dealing with people with low vibration, you know, they make you feel like shit. And that's hard for me too, because I'm a genuine person and I understand that people are human. I understand that people make mistakes, because I have too. So when I try to talk to people and as a new person and they still treat me like the old person, that shit hurts.
Oh, that's good. That is very deep.
That's the truth,
That
brother.
is the absolute truth.
And I go through that a lot.
Yeah,
So,
that's good.
can you say that again? Just like the last sentence?
I was speaking from the heart, honestly. I
Yeah.
really don't even know what I said.
You said that you're genuine, and you basically you were saying you approach these people as your new person, but they want to treat you like the old person.
Yeah.
Well, that
And
is-
shit, it makes me feel like shit.
And they
And it
do
makes
that
you-
because they have expectations of you and they're negative,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And I just said loving somebody is letting go of the expectations.
And being understanding.
How do you like that?
Okay, so here's the last question. If you could teach the world one concept, what would it be?
To have confidence in yourself. Have confidence. And, you know, believe that you are worthy of all the things that you desire. And be unapologetic. So really that just ties into just really trusting yourself. That's where that confidence comes in, valuing yourself and worthiness. So that's what I would like to teach the world. I would teach the world the concept of valuing yourself at the highest level.
You kind of do.
That's exactly it. and being an example of that.
You definitely are. And you're already doing that. That's great. I didn't really think about that.
And this is that means my life is perfectly aligned with what I'm supposed to do.
Well, I would teach love.
Teach you
I think that is, love is source. We were talking about God earlier. God is love. You teach love, I think you teach everything. And I think you know, that confidence comes from a place of love for self. Right?
real genuine
Yeah.
self-love.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy that we've fallen into a culture where, you know, loving yourself gets tagged and labeled as narcissism. That's not the truth. The truth is loving yourself. You can't love anybody if you don't love yourself. You know, I guess the aspects that we call narcissism, arrogance and things of that nature, that's not loving yourself. That's feeling insecure and not confident in who you are. So mine would be love.
And really, that's on the self-love piece. Self-love is not arrogant. Self-love is about loving yourself enough to know that when people say negative things to you, that you don't have to believe it. You're being confident and strong enough, and you love yourself enough. It's like saying, I love myself, and that's all that matters. If no one else loves me, I love myself, and I love myself enough to not let other people hurt me with their words or label me with their opinions. I'm confident enough, and I love myself enough to know that I am worthy. And that kind of also speaks to your point that you said that you about the, in one of the questions, you said that you didn't think that you would find love or be loved. You need to start with loving yourself, putting yourself first, focusing on you, and let things happen naturally when it comes to love.
This year actually is probably the first year I'm actually starting to love myself. So, and I know my worth now, so I feel it feels better knowing your worth, and now I know exactly what I want in a partner. So that's why it's hard to find. It's easy to find a love when you don't love yourself, because it's not really.
When you don't love yourself, you settle for anything. You know what I'm saying? Because when you love yourself, you don't settle for what you're not in aligned with. That's what I know for me. I don't attract people. I don't attract negative people. Because if someone is negative, I recognize it right away, and they do not remain in my life very long. And I love myself enough to say I'm not going to allow this energy to remain. I protect my peace. There is value in peace. And so, yes, that is so important, because when you love yourself, you're going to attract the right people to you. And you're going to repel the ones that aren't for you.
Actually, I do have a bonus question if you guys are down.
A bonus question.
Yeah, if you guys are down.
Go for it.
Okay, cool. This is the last one for sure. So the last question is, does hardship make a person stronger? And if so, what conditions and at what point is too much hardship?
Well, back in I suppose, a verse that comes from the Christian in me, you won't be tested beyond that which we can bear. That's Jewish, that's Muslim, that's all over. I think the universe isn't going to give you more than you can handle. Now you might, more than you can handle, the flesh and blood. People kill themselves, I guess. That's maybe more than they can handle, but their soul can take it. There's a reason that they came here, even if they do take themselves out, maybe they don't complete their mission in that life cycle, and get a reset. But, your soul can take anything. It's eternal. And so hardship makes you stronger. Hardship is intended to break down the flesh and bring down the will of the ego. The ego, the thing that you walk around saying you're just so cool, the face that you show the world. But hardship exists to tear that down and let the love, which is the light that's inside of you, shine out. So
I like that. I definitely agree with that.
sometimes you got to be broken in two for the light inside of you to get loose.
I believe for sure hardship makes you stronger, and without, in fact, lack of it, it's interesting, I was either thinking it or wrote this or something, but I believe, maybe I mentioned it to you, lack of hardship weakens you. Lack of not having gone through something weakens you. Hardship, having gone through something, strengthens you. And what I mean by that, and I know that is true for me, I've seen so much by hardships, and the things that I've gone through has prepared me, and I'm going to be honest, to see the bullshit coming a mile away and not sitting in it too long. You can't pull anything over on me. I'm a very different woman than he's used to, so he'll say, well, you're tough. I'm like, I am not putting up with the shit. I've seen things when I'm quick to say no, slow to say yes. Quick to say no to things that I know I don't want to do, that aren't in alignment with what I want. Why? Because I said so. Because I already know, I've been here before. If I do this, I know what I don't want to do it. I'm going to regret and pissed off the rest of the night. Why? Because I've been there. Right? So that is me knowing that, because I've been there. whatever it is. If I see a man, for example, in domestic violence or an abusive relationship, I'm single, I'm free, I date a guy, and he goes, call me out my name one time. You ain't got the one time. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not me. That's not, that's not me. I'm not a character. Oh no, I've been through it. You do it once, you're going to do it 10 more times. If I stay too long, I'm going to be treated wrong. You don't get it one time. That's it. Why? Because I know. So I will say that hardship makes you stronger and it prepares you for more. And the other part of that is what is too much? I don't know that there's a too much. To Trent's point, I don't believe we are given more than we can bear. And there's always going to be someone in the room that's gone through more than us. We can go through all the things we go through, right? Now imagine going through it without legs.
Yeah, I think about that a lot.
Imagine going through it blind. Imagine going through it deaf, blind, and no legs. You see what I'm saying? So we have to, when we go through things, we better think about how worse it could be. And understand that we're going to be okay, and we are going to go through it, and we're going to get through it.
I needed to hear that myself.
Oh,
but
okay.
I also think about that a lot when I see homeless people, and I think like when I'm going through something, or I have a roof over my head, or like people without legs, like you said, like I have 2 legs, so no matter how much my heart takes, I'm like physically okay.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, and that's how we have to see it. And again, I think about the loss that we have recently faced in the family. It's tough. It's so tough. But one of the things we all have to look at is we still have a life to live, and how dare we live it in sorrow. We need to, for any person that we've lost, we need to live this life as a blessed one. Because again, we could get bit by a poisonous ant right now and fall out and not be here. I mean, I like to make humor out of it. Like, and Bill was like, I'm scared to do this. I'm scared to do that. I'm like, you can get hit by a running dog walking outside your door. And then her and that show, they laugh. They still laugh to this day. Please, Dad, we get hit by a running dog. Well, I added humor to it. It's like, so stop being, what the hell are you scared of? Live, right? So that's just how I see it. We do need to find the balance in the grief and in the living. It doesn't mean we're disconnected from it or anything. It's just that we've accepted it. We're going to grieve. We're going to have these emotions come up no matter what it is we've been through. The emotions will come when we least expect it. But we also should be mindful of the blessings, the gratitude, the babies, the nieces, the nephews, the kids, the cousins, the brothers, the sisters, the aunties, the uncles, whomever, or the family, the friends, the opportunities that we have yet to experience, the travel, all the things that we have yet to do. That's what you look forward to and what you hold on to, right?
Do I have anything to say?
Yeah, would you like to enclose? How about we ask you a question?
I'll take the question.
I want to ask you a question. How do you feel your life has changed in a positive way over the last 3 months since you started on this journey?
I feel like just spiritually I became a different person, or not even a different person. I became more myself. I've changed a lot. I stand on business now. Anything that has to do with, content creating, or anything that has to do with what I want to do in life, I stand on business about it. I'm confident about it. And I don't know how I move different now. I feel like a somebody. So yeah, that's how I feel like my life has changed. Just me in general. I feel like.
When you say you feel like a somebody, does that also mean that you feel like you have purpose, where before you didn't quite feel like you had purpose?
Yeah, I feel like I didn't have a purpose really. Even though I've always had my music, it just wasn't enough. Like that was just for me. Like now, what I'm doing is just like I feel like me as a person is my purpose to be here.
And I see your music play out also in this purpose. As your purpose evolves, you still get to do music. I hear your music at the beginning of your podcast.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. You see how the thing that you love and you hang on to, that you're trying to grow and you want to grow, can evolve in the growing. You've added other elements, content creation, podcast, who knows what else you will add, but your music can always remain.
Yeah.
Why? Because you have control. You don't need permission from anyone to validate you, to give you a recording contract, to give you something. You get to call the shots. You get to make the rules for what you want to do.
Yeah,
You get to be yourself.
Yeah, and I feel like I could strive that way because I get to be myself.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm so proud.
I'm thankful for you guys.
Ooh, thank you. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, this has been a great way to spend the 4th.
Well, it was a great podcast, you guys. And that'll end off Backwoods and Wisdom. Shout out my auntie, Felisha the Diva, and my uncle, Trent.
Bye,
Bye.
world.
Later.
I hate when you act like you don't care. I grew up kinda slimy, it's only right I play it fair. My grandma died sometime you left. I wish I never loved, sometimes I wish I never cared. A broken smile is all you see. I'd rather be alone, maybe then I'll find some peace. I thought you said you'll never leave. I thought you said you loved me, I thought I guess we'll never be. Now you got a piece of me. Now you got a piece of me. All the words I'm thinking are coming back to me, I didn't care. Now I see it from the other side. You remind me of the time I didn't care. Will you do what you want?